What's up, guys? Paul from Golfers Authority. Welcome to the Behind the Golf Brand podcast. This week, I have my friend Derek Mousseau from Garmin. You guys all love Garmin. I love Garmin. Garmin's like the leader in like GPS. Everyone's just a knockoff, in my opinion. I've used Garmin forever. I'll tell you guys stories about using my Garmin unit in an airplane, like when I used to be a pilot.
Yeah.
So, like, it looked like a big football. That's how big this Garmin unit was. But I'm really excited to have him on the show today because I want to talk about tech and kind of like what's going on with Garmin and all the new products and just get to know Derek. So, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Paul. It's good to be on. Appreciate the opportunity and excited to discuss golf and Garmin and what we're working on and all the exciting stuff with the season pretty much here in the East. So
Yay! Golf season's here.
we
Yay!
made
It's
it.
finally here.
Yeah, it rains about 5 days a week, but we're gonna get out there eventually.
So, where are you located, you personally?
So I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm responsible for Garmin's consumer electronics sales throughout the western half of Pennsylvania, all of West Virginia, and most of Virginia, not including the DC Beltway. So
That's a
Garmin,
big area.
yeah, it's a lot of geography. I mean, we cover down into Virginia Beach, which is nice to get down to sometimes. But yeah, it's been great seeing some areas of Virginia that I hadn't been so familiar with, and Garmin makes a wide portfolio of products beyond golf. We're responsible for four key product segments in each territory. The outdoor segment, which is golf, falls under that category. Our handhelds, which is what Garmin's known for with our satellite communicators. We make dive watches. We make dog products like collars and handhelds for hunters when they're out in the field so they can see where their dogs are when they're hunting. We make archery technology products, so sights or rangefinders that you mount to bows for hunters to, have ethical kills while they're out there. So those are like the core products that make up the outdoor space, and then we have a fitness segment, which is a big aspect to Garmin, where we have running watches, we have biking technology, so very popular aspect of fitness there. Automotive, which is what really kind of got Garmin on the map with the personal devices in cars. But as that industry has evolved and matured, the automotive space has gotten into some more niche markets. We make products for like side-by-sides and off-road vehicles, motorcycles, RVs, motorsports like race carring for drivers to record their ride, track their time, find opportunities to cut that time down. And then the last segment is marine. So marine's a big area where we have fish finders, chart plotters, live sonar, trolling motors for bass and fishing enthusiasts. So those are the areas that we're responsible for in our markets. Garmin has an aviation department that you had mentioned earlier. We don't have anything to do with that, but it's also a big aspect of Garmin as a whole from a GPS company.
Oh, is that it?
That's it, man. Yeah. So as soon as you hang up, we hang up. We'll be diving into some marine or something here today. So
Yeah,
it's
like I had
unique.
no idea how. I honestly, because you forget, right? Like when you are when you're in a segment, right? Don't spend time like as a consumer. You don't go, oh, they must make that for fishing, and like then you go, oh yeah, they do make that for fishing. Oh yeah, they do make that for this. Oh yeah, like I don't know. Garmin's a massive company.
If you
Like,
just go to our website and start just cruising around and seeing the different categories, I mean, golf is a big part of what Garmin does. It's one of many things I do. It's not the primary thing I do every day, but you're right. It's a GPS company. They started integrating a lot of their GPS technologies into golf in the late 2000s and launched the first handheld, which I think was the G5 then, and they've continued to evolve their technologies in golf to branch out into wearables and more mature handhelds, rangefinders, and now we have a launch monitor too. So a solution really kind of for every type of golf appetite or athlete, depending on what it is their preference is while playing. And we have solutions for the off course, big box accounts down to the green grass facilities as well. So, but yeah, it's nice to have that diversity in the company where we're not dependent on one particular product to get us through a quarter or a year where there's ebbs and flows in the economy, which may affect a certain industry more so than others. And what that allows Garmin to do is those other industries pick up the area that might be, dragging a little bit, so that we can maintain other growth opportunities. So yeah,
I mean,
we're constantly
Garmin's
pivoting.
Garmin just has a good reputation. Like that's it. Like I mean, I've never heard anybody saying bad about Garmin. Like Garmin's always makes high quality products that you trust. Like I mean, I know I did. Like I was kind of telling you earlier. Like I remember when I used to be a pilot. It was in the early 2000s. Like I got this little, like it was as big as my coffee cup, dude. It was like that big. It was massive. It looked like a football, and it was
Yeah.
like a black and white GPS. But it was like the coolest thing in the world because there was nothing else like that out there, right? I mean, and we relied on that flying all over the United States, just messing around. And I mean, then they came out with the color unit, and for like I couldn't afford the color unit. I stayed with the black and white. But I, I mean,
You knew how to not die with that one, so you're fine with it.
that is all that matters.
Yeah.
Even though I've tried to die a couple times doing that. But what I mean, before we go into Garmin, like where, like, are you a golf pro? Like, tell us your story. Like, did you grow up? You grew up in Pittsburgh, or
Yeah,
what happened?
yeah. So I grew up in Pittsburgh, and I was a golf enthusiast early on. My mother's father, Glenn Ludwig, was a scratch player, and he introduced me to the game. And my dad's dad was a good player too, Earl Mousseau. We also would play together, but a lot of summers we'd go to the range at my mom's, out by my mom's place, and just really took a liking to the game. I started caddying at age 13 at Oakmont, and caddied throughout high school and college. In my opinion, you can't find a better summer gig for that age with respect to just exercise, uh, being on a golf course, meeting
Here,
people, meeting influential people,
I can
making
imagine.
making cash. So
Good
it just
cash. I bet you make
yeah
good cash.
yeah.
Probably
I mean,
hanging out the golf course all day.
spending
Probably
just 5 to 6 hours
going,
of your day, and then you can go and do whatever else you want. And
and you're in
just
shape.
yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, it's a little different today than in the mid to late '90s, but yeah. So then the PGA was starting to ramp up this golf management program throughout the country, and finding universities to accredit, to offer PGA certification in addition to a degree from said university. So I think I don't know, when I entered college in '02, there was probably, I don't know, 15 or so colleges that had this professional golf management program, like Ferris State, um, Penn State. They were early adopters, and then I went to Campbell University just south of Raleigh. So you graduate with a business and degree and a minor in marketing, and then you also finish with your PGA certification, Class A. So in between each year, you're working internships at different facilities to gain experience of golf operations and everything that goes into running a facility. So then after college, I started working at the Pittsburgh Field Club, which is not far from where I live. It's across the river from Oakmont, and spent 3 seasons there teaching, merchandising, tournament operations, just
Wow.
all things golf encompassing. And then while then we went into transition where, if you remember, Titleist owned Cobra Golf. Well, Acushnet owned Titleist and Cobra, and Puma was making golf apparel in Europe, and they were looking to expand in North America. So they wanted to grow distribution, and they thought the best way to do that was to partner up and purchase a well-established golf equipment company. So that was how Cobra and Puma Golf came together in 2010. I had some good relationships with the Acushnet people through my time at the Field Club. There was opportunity to grow a new sales force with Cobra Puma Golf. So I was lucky enough to be placed in Western PA to oversee that growth of that new brand.
What year
In
was that?
addition, that started in late 2010. Late 2010. And independent sales gig. So build out some other brands that were non-competing. Like we sold Seymour putters, we sold Precision Pro rangefinders, we did Epic Junior Golf equipment, Jack Jolly and Son grips, tees, and spikes. So we built out a nice portfolio of brands for the independent sales agency, and did that for about 8 years. And
Is there a
just
lot
came
of
to
traveling?
it was a lot of road windshield time, and that's where we when you're young and you're starting, that's not a big deal. And as you start to mature in your life and kids come along, it's harder and harder to kind of spend a lot of that time away.
Because
So
sales, right? Essentially, you have to go club to club, store to store, right, and like sell, right, or
that's
get
right. Yeah,
on
you
orders.
present the brand, you present the programs, the features, why this brand, why they should buy in, how we're going to support them through merchandising, fitting events, consumer connection, those things. And as an
Relationship
independent,
building, all
that's
that
it.
stuff. I mean,
Yeah, and as an independent, you're responsible for all the costs that are associated with that too. So you work smart. You're managing your own budget, your own kind of P&L statement if you want. And so
is it kind of like running your own business, kind of like
it
you?
was very much so. Yeah, I mean, created an LLC to kind of file everything from a business expense under it, all the equipment that we'd have to bring on, keep it separate, expense purposes, all those things. But tax
That's a
write-offs,
lot of
all
work. I mean, it's
schedule
cool
C's.
because it
Yeah,
it kind of gets you to like, I don't know, like you understand that world, right? Like what it's like to really. It's not like you're not safe under a big corporation. You're doing those sales because you're gonna get paid no matter what. It's like, okay, if I don't sell, I don't make money, and I gotta really run this like a company.
yeah, and I mean, in the north where the season is somewhat up and down, where the selling season is short, the golf season is short. You got to make impactful, product presentations in the right assortment and the right mix, so that the
That's
pro
cool.
can see those turns, justify another order, justify an order for next year, and it was great. I loved the brand. I loved being out there. I just kind of got to a point where I was ready for something different. So I stepped aside. I did some independent sales consulting work with a golf travel company called Signature Golf. They specialize in domestic and international golf experiences around the world and the U.S. And then V1 Sports, which is the leader in video analysis solutions for golf instructors to record swings, make graphics, voiceover commentary, virtual lessons. So helped them for a little bit, and then was introduced to Garmin in 2020. But in that transition period, I also joined the board of directors for the First Tee of Pittsburgh. So
Oh, that's
First
cool.
Tee nationally is a youth development organization that teaches life skills through the game of golf. So Pittsburgh is one of the chapters throughout the country, and it's a very, excellent organization, very rewarding work. Just opened a brand new Arnold Palmer Learning Center at the Bob O'Connor Golf Course at Shenley Park. I encourage you to check it out.
That's cool.
So it allows us to deliver programming year-round, 2 indoor simulators. Just a great community place to help kids find an area to go that may be better than another option, perhaps as they, mature and find different challenges in their life. So, but yeah, almost 2 years now with Garmin, and it's been fun. We were just at headquarters last week for our first sales meeting in like 2 or 3 years, I think, post pandemic. So great to meet a lot of people that we've talked with virtually for so long, and just kind of
It's
get
like a
a
homecoming, right? Because you talk to these people all the time, and then it's you finally meet them, and you're like, I already know this person. Like we're already friends, right?
yeah, kind of in a way. I mean, but they don't really know what you look like. I'm 6'4", but it doesn't always come across that way on Microsoft
Really?
Teams.
You don't
So
look like
like
you're
when you
six
show
foot four.
up
You look
on
like you're five
campus,
four.
they're like, "What the heck? Who's this bozo?"
You're like, hello, I'm Derek, and they're like, what the hell?
Yeah, you're still monotone, but you're much taller than I thought you'd be. So
I used to like I used to work for Honeywell, like in legal department, and we had this big conference once, and like they shipped everybody in from all around the world, right, for this
yeah,
conference that we all work with, and it was like the same thing. Everyone's like, this is like it felt surreal in a weird way. You're like, this is really weird, you know.
yeah. I mean, everybody's been through something in the last couple of years, so it was just nice to.
Actually, my wife today, she goes like her company is having people come back to work now, like now come back like slowly, right? And they're doing it
Mhm.
on May the 4th. That's when we're recording this, right? So it's like Star Wars Day, and
Yeah,
so like I'm like, well, that's hilarious, because now they're like, oh, it's May the 4th, come on in, and so um,
may the
yeah.
fourth be with you. Yeah,
She's wearing a Star Wars shirt. And I was like, "What's up, the Star Wars shirt?" She's like, today is right." And I'm like, half day for the kids." She's like, "No, it's not." She's like, "It's May the 4th." And then she started telling me all this stuff. So,
yeah.
um,
Anyway,
to
well, I
see.
know I talked a lot there, so hope I threw a lot of info at you.
No, it's
But
cool. I love the. I
yeah,
want. I love hearing that. So like when you were doing your independent stuff, for for V1 for example, like what were you doing with them? Were you helping them like with their sales or just more about development and stuff like that of the product?
yeah, a lot of sales and business development. I know that you've talked to some of those guys from V1, I think, on your podcast in the
Yeah, a
past,
couple
and
of the guys.
I
They're good
just
guys.
kind
They're
of
cool.
yeah, just kind of help them kind of get a lot of industry, nomenclature organized with respect to like what was going on, sales process organizations from generating leads to qualifying them to bringing them on as a potential deal to closing them as a customer. And we identified through that time, that's when the pandemic was starting, that there was a major growth in demand for at-home users and people creating golf studios, in their garage, in a room that's no longer being used, in their basement. So we really ramped up the hardware solutions for those people that were looking to create. We didn't do the golf simulator aspect, but we had plenty of golf tech nuts out there that were looking to record their swing,
Yeah,
send it to their
software.
pro, send it to
Yeah.
their pro, yeah, software, send it to their pro. Pro would get it, record a voice note, draw some lines, provide a drill, send it back to the student, and that was how V1 in the pandemic really started to grow, because they had that platform of being able to help teachers teach virtually when everything was like so confused and people weren't going anywhere and this and that. So yeah, I just kind of helped them from a golf industry background and what were the key conversations needed when we're
Yeah.
approaching golf pros, at home users, golf instructors, because golf pros, they do so many things. Teaching is one of the things that they do,
They do everything.
but they do everything. And
Yeah, like literally, they do everything at the golf course. Like, don't kid yourself.
yeah, there are some people that just teach, and that is their dedicated role. What V1 was good at was trying to help make teaching good, regardless of what capacity you were doing it in. If you're the pro that's merchandising, running tournaments, and selling hot dogs and all that stuff, your student doesn't care. They're paying for a lesson. They want a good lesson experience. So V1 will still help you look good, even though teaching is a small portion of what you're doing
Yeah,
on a
V1's a
day-to-day.
big pro.
Yeah, so
Isn't it
it was fun.
crazy? Like in the last 4 years, how big tech has gotten in golf. Like I know it was
Yeah,
already big, but I mean it's like blowing up, massive. Like that's I mean it's crazy, and I know the pandemic had a lot to do with it, but I also think it has a lot to do with the price coming down on products that people can now afford it, and I also think there's a lot of new golfers, right, that are already
no
used to
doubt.
buying tech, so they go, oh, I need that watch, oh, I need that GPS unit, oh,
Yeah.
I need to make a home simulator, like
we
it is.
started we started to see that even before the pandemic. Like when we were with Cobra, they were partnered with Arcos, and they were a GPS tracking company where they had sensors, and you could screw into the butt end of the club, or Cobra started making equipment where it was embedded in the
Yeah, because
grip.
Cobra was the first, right, to put the
I think
deal
so.
together with
Yeah,
Arcos. Yeah,
yeah.
Arcos was like
So
new.
that was a new concept for a lot of people. It's not right for everybody, but the people that are looking to start to collect data and what it is they're doing on the golf course, uh, it was really popular. And Garmin offers that in their technologies too, with auto shot detector and the ability to collect data and then use the virtual caddy feature once enough data is collected to, get recommendations while they're out on the golf course. So, but you're right. Yeah, it's not. We make very technical products, and we make technical products that are for kind of simple users that just kind of want good information while they're out there. And you know, because that was a challenge a lot of time is you have all this tech, but you're figuring it out while you're playing the whole time. You're not always necessarily enjoying golf. You're trying to
That's the downside,
get the
right?
sensors right. Oh, I didn't hit the shot here. Da, 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 da. Then you got to come back after the round, and you're updating a lot of the things in your phone. So
You don't want to do that. Like you want to do like in real time. Like I'll tell you right now, I'm not gonna name products, but I used the product once or a couple of times, and like that was the problem, is that it didn't register every single time like it said it was supposed to. So then you get done with the round or you get done with the hole, and you're like, it's all wrong, and it's like, oh, you can go in and fix it, and I'm like, I don't want to fix it. I'm supposed to hit the next shot, like, and then you're just like, forget it. I don't even want to use it because it's like too late, you know. And I
yeah,
think like, um,
it can be tricky. I
people,
mean, I think it helps. It helps that mid to high handicapper more, where they're
hundred
really
percent,
starting to
hundred
they.
percent.
How many fittings have I done where I was told the TrackMan was lying? I hit the driver 270, and it was telling 230. I'm like, I don't know, it's pretty accurate. It's got Doppler radar. It's following the ball. So people that really trying to get some humility in their game of, the truth of certain numbers will make them better.
Well, I was actually having this conversation. Like, one thing I want to do, 'cause I'm not good. Like, I'm not good at golf. Like,
neither of us are good, or we'd be playing on TV for millions. So like we're good, like we're not that.
On a good day, I'm a mid handicapper, but on most days, I'm a high handicapper, and that's just because as you know, once you have family, once you have a job, once you have kids, like your golf time goes like this, right? Like you're lucky if you get out there once or twice a month. That's if you're lucky. And when I started the brand, like that was my journey. Like that was the whole reason why I started the journey, because I was like, I can't find good products because I'm being sold products, but I don't understand if it's really good or not, right? So I was like, I'm going to just talk about it and figure it out. And I think with the way tech is coming into play now, it's like people can get that data and just be honest and be like, okay, this is where I have problems at. Not like, oh, yeah, I shoot in the mid-80s. Like, bull crap, you shoot in the mid-80s. Like, no, there's no way. Like, let's just be honest. I used to say that to people, like, oh, yeah, what do you shoot? I shoot in the mid-80s. Yeah, I shot in the mid-80s like 20 years ago. Yeah, I was lucky, or low 80s. Now, dude, I started taking my real score, and it was like, I was 3 numbers. I was not 2 numbers, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna really figure this out. I want that data to like know where I need help at and where I don't, and where I actually am. Because I think like, isn't that what we all want, really? Like just to get better. That's why we buy these products.
You should know your low and max numbers when you're out there. So like, conditions change. Like it's colder in the morning, it's wet, the ball's just not going to go as far as it would at like 2 p.m. on a warm summer day. So just having an understanding of how far you hit each club. And that was always the challenge with like in fitting days when you're working with a player is like no 2 swings are the same, right? We're highly inconsistent. So 5 swings with the Cobra, great. That was a great club. He goes to Ping, swings differently. I don't know, just didn't swing the same, and that club stinks. So depending on when you would get the player in the right swinging time, you could win and set the club to their swing habits or the way they go with the flow of their swing. But yeah, I mean, you want to dig into some of the products?
Yeah. So you started with Garmin in 2020, and you've just kind of gone all Garmin, right? They're not doing any other sales for anybody else.
Yeah, we're full employees of Garmin here. That's our focus, and just like I said, do some nonprofit volunteer work for the first tee. But
it's cool.
Yeah, it keeps me involved in golf. But Garmin is again very diverse. A lot of different conversations. I entered Garmin not knowing most of the industries that we're in. But what I do bring is like humor, humility, and just good presentation and communication skills to our account base, so that they understand the core about our products. And what's nice is Garmin has a great support system back at headquarters to lift us up, get us over the finish line if there are some really in the weed type tech questions that are a little bit more complicated than we're comfortable with. So good support system to help us be successful in the field. So.
Yeah, let's have a show and tell. I've never done this before. Like I never had a show and tell section.
I mean,
but like Derek has cool stuff behind him, and I want to talk about it because this is gonna be fun. So
yeah, I lined it up.
Show and tell.
Well, let's start off with some of the wearables, because that has been one of the quicker growing areas. So Garmin Golf makes a solution kind of for every type of golf appetite, where we have a rangefinder. So if people have a hard time holding the rangefinder steady, we make a watch. And then some people don't like wearing watches, so then we make a handheld, which will provide the technology as well. So a lot of different handhelds. We make 3 that are really specific for golf. This is the S12. This is our entry-level wearable. It comes in 3 colorways: a white, black, and a light blue granite. This is a button-featured watch. It's going to give the golfer front, middle, back distances. They can move the pin location here based on location of the hole, so to give them a little bit more accuracy. But it's for that 50 to 70-year-old customer that's looking for a lightweight, inexpensive $199 retail watch that's going to just give them a lot of good golf knowledge. It's 42,000 preloaded courses on all of our wearables. And basically, you arrive at the facility, you hit the play golf feature on the unit, and satellite picks up where you are. And you select that golf course, you select the tee box you're playing. You can choose whether you want to keep score or not, and then you're ready to go. You're out there playing golf. We move on to the S42. This is a $299 retail, and we make this in 3 colorways. We see this more in the female space. It's a smaller. It's the same head as the S12, but the watch band is a white Sedone sandy type finish, so the females respond to that one well. But this is a color touchscreen. You can touch the green here and drag the pin around to get a more specific yardage. It has that front, middle, back. You can go throughout the hole and see different hazards on the right to get a front of that distance and a carry distance. So I actually like this watch when I play. It's a good silicone band that when it's hot, it moves still on your wrist. It doesn't get too stuck. But it has a nice auto shot detector feature. So what that means is you select the club you're about to hit, swing, confirm driver, and you get out to the fairway, hopefully where your drive landed. Hit your 7-iron. The watch will ask you what you hit. You select 7-iron, and then it calculates how far that drive went based on where you're standing. So it's pretty user friendly. It's easy to then build your metrics and numbers. I like that feature. It's very, you just got to kind of remember after each shot. But it's not that hard to do.
But it's pretty fast because it's right there. It's not like you're fiddling with like your phone or something else.
Right.
It's like literally right there, and you're like beep beep, you're done. Right.
That's right. And oftentimes when you go to the green, you bring several clubs. So then you select the club you're going to hit, and you toss the other ones aside. What that feature does, it doesn't allow those clubs to register as a shot. Sometimes those clubs would hit the ground, and the technology.
Think about that.
The technology would think that you hit a shot when you didn't. So there was some editing that you'd have to do, but that feature makes it simple where as soon as you hit, it senses that motion, and then it notices that you took a shot, and then you select the shot.
So it has auto detect. So the S12 doesn't though, right?
You can measure the shot through the S12, which is a little bit more complicated. So you hit your shot, then you got to go hit measure shot, and then as you walk or ride to your ball, it's calculating how far you went, and then you hit the button again to then once you get to your shot.
Okay, so you hit your shot. So the S12, which is like about $200, you guys, like that's their
right.
lower end price point model. It's black and white, but if you want to you have to physically you push a button, it measures your shot as you walk or ride to your location, correct? And
that's
then
right.
you kind of know how far it went. But then I noticed on the S12, it says the big numbers, right? Because it shows you front, middle, and back. So is that after you auto did it, or is that automatic based on satellite reception?
Yeah, that's updating as you're moving. So
it was like 2 separate features. One is how far did you hit it, and the other one is more
right. Yeah, you got to click. You got to click out of this home screen here, and here's I don't know if you can see it, but it says measure shot. So then you have to select that, and then it says 0 yards right now, but then you got to start walking, and then it'll pick up where you ended up. So a little bit more work. We don't see that feature probably used too much with that customer that's looking for that type of technology. Again, they're looking for a simple, lightweight unit.
For $100 more, you have a color screen and it's auto tech, and you're like, okay, cool. I don't have to do that.
That's it.
Which is cool. I mean, so the S42, that is the color version, which is the body style similar to the S12, like the construction. It's just the color screen and
the head is the face watch size is the same as the S12. Yeah, so you're like 43 and a half millimeters or something like that. The watch size does get bigger here on the S62. It's about 47 millimeter. And again, another touchscreen watch that has colors, great sunlight readable screen. The difference is here is it lays the golf hole out on the side of the watch. So let's see if I can get this. There we go. So really cool feature for players that aren't familiar with the golf course. They dog leg or blind shot, may not know that there's a hazard or bunker up there. This watch will show you exactly what that hole looks like. You can click through the buttons here to kind of get an understanding of, again, layup features. If I want to hit a 200-yard shot on a par 5, what is that going to give me on my 3rd shot? like I said on the S42, distances to the front of a hazard, what it is to carry the hazard. Those numbers are already preloaded in there. And then the auto shot detector on this unit, once you play about 5 rounds, 6 rounds, it builds up enough metrics that the virtual caddy can chime in and recommend a club selection on a par 3 or even on a par 5, where everyone thinks you need to hit a driver on a par 5. But oftentimes what that does is it brings the hazards in play, and then you may be in trouble on that hole, whereas maybe a fairway wood off the tee is the smarter play, keeps you short, then you can have a more effective layup and give you a comfortable third shot onto the green to then maybe have a birdie chance. So cool technology feature there. That is our most advanced golf watch at $499.
Have the caddy thing too, or no?
I don't think that one has the virtual caddy feature, but it just has the auto shot aspect to it. So
S62 has the virtual caddy and the auto shot stuff. But then you say in the S62 shows the whole course, like on the screen, right? On the screen it'll show you the hole, like the actual hole, right? The hazards, the whole 9 yards. And then also the green view, right? It has green view on it.
That's right.
On the green.
Yep.
But does the S62, does the S42 have the whole course or just the green view?
It has the course, but it comes across in a little bit of a different metric or a graphic. It's kind of hard to describe. Let's see if we can click it here. So you'll see here, I don't know if you can.
Oh, yeah, I can kind of see it, yeah.
The hole is narrow, and it doesn't give a really clear description of bunkers and stuff like that.
No,
but you can click through. It starts with layup or pinpoint number or letter A. So you start with A, and it'll say 324-yard shot gives you a 150-yard layup, something like that. That's what it reads here on the screen. So it'll map out the different parts of the hole with a hazard and layup features. It just doesn't have the detail of the golf hole like the S62 does.
Because the S62, it looks like the whole course with all the. I'm looking at the graphic right now on Garmin's website. It has the creek, and it'll have the sand traps and the lake, and it looks like a real full map. And it looks crazy.
It provides it. But
is
this
the technology
also
in the S62 the same that's in the Z.
Z82,
the Z82, where you can see everything inside of it.
It does, yeah. I'll talk about that here in a second. But another couple cool things on the S62 is also a very advanced health and wellness wearable, where there's a sensor on the back to give the player, wrist-based heart rate, daily resting heart rate, pulse ox features, body battery. Yeah, so it has a sleep aspect to it. So the sensors on it are going to give that player a lot more off the golf course too. They can bike ride with it, go running. It'll give them good training and aspect features there. So it is, for $499, if you're looking for something that it's going to be the most advanced golf watch we make, in addition to some life off the course, it'll be good. So those are the dedicated golf wearables, and then we do have adventure wearables that include golf as well. So this is, I'm wearing the Phoenix. I'm holding the Epics. These are new wearables that we've released in January that have 42,000 preloaded courses, but these are wearables that are for people that are doing a variety of activities. They're mountain biking, they're hiking, they're running, they're swimming. It has mapping for those, non-golf activities, a lot of health features. The main difference in these two is the Epics has what's called an AMOLED display, so it's very bright, vibrant, dynamic while you're playing golf. I like to ski with this one. It's great while the sun is really bright on the slopes. But again, two of our more advanced adventure wearables that do have golf features to it. Phoenix 7 is a more higher premium price point at $799, and then Epics, because of that screen, goes to $899 for retail. So for the player that wants a sleek, stylish looking watch, for everything, the battery life is. The battery life on all of our wearables is good. I'd say for the golf wearables, you can get about 3 or 4 rounds of golf. I'd say I may take it back, probably 2 to 3 rounds of golf on each wearable before having to charge it. Epics and Phoenix 7, you'll get more battery life for the golf, and then other aspects that you're doing like swimming and biking.
So the Phoenix 7, for when it comes, I didn't even I don't know where I'm coming from with this question, but like I didn't know. So the Phoenix 7, you can use it for golf though, right? I mean, even though
Yeah,
it's
I
like
mean,
a
I have it open
sport.
right here.
Yeah.
So it,
Oh crap! It has everything.
yeah,
Like it's
it's just like the S62 graphic, and same thing with
yeah, it
Epics.
looks exactly like it.
That's right. Yeah, so it's touchscreen, or you can have a
But
touchscreen
it's not solely
disabled.
a golf watch though. It's like a
Correct.
multi-sport. You can use it for about a million other things, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's a thicker design. It's a little bit heavier. So if the golfer doesn't care for that, it may not be the right fit for them. But I've worn it playing golf. I never used to be a watch player until I came to Garmin, and I noticed how good the silicone band was and how much faster I started playing because I just looked at my wrist and the numbers were good enough. Like I wasn't that concerned with exactly the pin number. I feel like golfers would play a lot better if they weren't worried about where the pin was and just kind of shot for the middle of the green. Yeah, for our adventure wearables like Phoenix 7 and Epics, you can do many things beyond golf. So, but it does come with golf preloaded, ready to go.
So you can use it for like running, right? Or if you want to use it for off-roading or skiing or whatever, right?
Hiking, yeah, it has the mapping technology, all that GPS
Crazy.
multi-band usage to
It's only
provide
$200
good.
more too, right? I mean, if somebody wanted to like,
Well, you're at $499 on the S62, and then you do get into like that $799 and higher price range because Phoenix 7 makes several different versions
oh, I
depending
see.
on sapphire solar, which is the most premium material to protect the face. Um, we make a solar version and then a non-solar. So that's what really changes with pricing and battery life. So Garmin has really started to introduce the solar features to a lot of our outdoor wearables because people are outdoors a lot. They want to maximize battery life, and that solar feature using the sun, increases that the energy of the wearable. So
I mean, does it have all this stuff where like people can make phone calls and all that dumb stuff, or like
they're
check
all smart
emails?
watches. Yeah, even the golf watches, you connect them to your smartphone. You get an incoming call, you can answer it from your watch and then take it on the phone. Um, you get your text messages, your emails, your calendar notifications if you want. We did introduce a watch called the Venue 2 Plus. It has a golf feature to it. The watch isn't ready to play golf when you show up. You have to download the course through Garmin Connect prior to arriving. But when you do get to the course, then it will pick up the satellite. This watch, though, is our first one that has a microphone and speaker to it where you can make and take phone calls from the wearable without having to use your phone. Your phone needs
I'm
to
gonna
be in
be
the
honest.
area.
I have a Apple Watch, and I have
Yeah,
that stupid answer your phone crap, and I like
right.
never use it. Number one, like, I'll use it like twice a year.
Yeah,
Um, the sound quality sounds like crap, and like you can't hear anybody, and that doesn't connect sometimes,
yeah.
and you're like, hold on, can you hear me? Oh crap, I'm just calling back on my cell phone. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't use it too much. I don't own an Apple Watch, but when I do
You
have
don't
the Venue
mind?
2
I'll give
Plus
it to
on,
you.
yeah, it's okay. I mainly use it like if I'm emptying the dishwasher or I'm cooking dinner and my hands are everywhere and I get a call coming in, I can just quickly like not have to fish my phone out of my pocket or something. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, any other questions on the wearables? That's pretty much it.
That's cool. I didn't know. I didn't understand. I'm glad you're like explaining it to everybody. Like, kind of like the steps, right? Like the S12 is the lower end one, but it's not a lower end product. It's lower cost, has less features, and as you work your way up, quite honestly, like to go to from an S12, which is $200. Let's just call it $200. It's $199. And then to go to an S42, which has color, right? It's
Yep.
$100 more and a little bit different. And then if you want to go like, next level there is like the S62, which is $200 more, but it has like better map looking thing and looks cool and
Yeah,
it has a
the
little more
graphics are
features. So
better.
it's like you kind of have different price points as to where people want to spend money because they might not care about that, right? They're like, I just want something that's, I want the auto detect, but I don't care about the map thing or
Right.
whatever it might be. So
Plus, I mean, they're good looking watches. They look good off the course. So,
yeah, they all look cool.
you
Like
can
they all
pull it
look
off in the
like
office or at dinner and it doesn't look like,
they
you're
look better
shooting
than a
off,
dumb Apple
geek.
Watch. That's what I think.
you know,
Can
Apple
you?
makes a good product. It's just different, and they service different types of features than what it is we
What
do.
is? So I have a question. Somebody asked me this the other day. What is the Approach CT10? What are those things?
So those are sensors that you screw into the butt end of the club, and it's another way to help track the player and their metrics while they're out there. It's for the player that really doesn't like rangefinders. They don't like wearing watches, and they don't want a handheld, but they want to collect their metrics in a way. So you screw the sensors into the butt end of the club, you pair each club through the Garmin Golf app, and then it starts to pick up what you're doing while you're out there.
Automatically?
Yeah.
Like you
So
don't tap it or anything weird, do you?
no, you swing, and then after the round, it syncs up to the app, and it'll show you on each hole where you were, and you probably have to do maybe a
So
little
you
bit of
don't
editing
need
there.
like the CT10 to work with your watch or something like that. It's a completely separate system. I mean, data-wise, it might not data, but like software and everything. Yeah, it's the same. But like,
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
not like you don't pair the CT10 to a watch, right? It's just like an
you would
added
pair it
thing.
with the Gar. You can use it with the watch if you wanted. Yeah, I mean, we do have a bundle kit in the S62 that comes with three CT10 sensors. Those are for use of the wedges, and then I think the thought, this was before I came on to Garmin, but was to get people into the CT10 before we really had a lot of that auto shot features kind of figured out and honed in a little bit more.
That makes
So,
sense.
but
So you're competing with like with the CT10. It's like the same as the Arcos, essentially.
I can't.
Right?
It's a similar technology.
Similar
The
technology.
approach is similar. I can't speak to necessarily the guts of the sensors, and I'm sure there's big
Yeah.
differences on those, but the concept is
The
heavily
concept is
similar.
similar.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So then beyond wearables, we have three types of handhelds. This is the G12. This is a very similar technology product to the S12. Just it doesn't have the band. So big numbers. A lot of people just kind of clip it onto their bag. Gives them real basic knowledge. You can move the flag as well. You can measure the shot manually, like we talked about in S12. So 149.99 units. Someone that just, again, basic unit that you can clip onto the scorecard on the steering wheel, stuff like that. And then the G30. It's a $249.99 price point. It's a small screen, but it's color touch screen. And again, goes through the graphics of the hole, the different distances with the hazards in the front, middle, back. So this has been in the market for a little while now. You can measure the shot. You can keep score on it. All those simple features for playing. And then the G80, which was kind of our first launch monitor. And I kind of like this device because of the simplicity of it. But it has a nice warm-up feature where you place this down on the ground and you have the ball next to it and you hit the shot out into the range, and it gives you an estimated carry, which is plus or minus 5 yards. It provides club head speed, ball speed, smash factor, and tempo. So for someone that's looking for a GPS device while playing golf to give them their numbers and distances, this is a nice simple warm-up tool to see like what they brought to the course that day. And like I said, the conditions in the morning might be different in the afternoon. So to give
How
them
does it
an
register
understanding.
that? How does it pick up the smash factor and the spin and all that stuff?
It's just a radar in there, so it's a calculation of the tech and the
So
speed
do you
it's
put it
going
like
through it.
if you're set up, you put it like right in front of you, or where would you put that at?
So if
Like
I'm
if you're
holding it,
swinging.
the golf ball goes right here, and you're hitting
Oh,
it
I
out
see.
that way. You're hitting out
Okay.
towards the range.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also has a neat target practice feature where it's kind of like Top Golf, where you can select different distances, 50, 75, 100. So if you want to work on some wedge game and hone in your distances, you'll have 5 swings, and it'll tell you, how far you hit it and if you're within the circle, and just give you some good, targeted practice that is simple to use while you're playing. So that was our first. So let's see if I can pull up around right here just to see it. So this is kind of like the
So
old
like if you're
iPhone
let's say
size.
you could use that while playing a round of golf and
Yeah,
just carry
so
it with
similar
you.
here. You can see the golf hole here.
Yeah.
So you clip this on your bag, and it's touch screen, so you can push different parts of the hole to get what is it to this front part of the bunker, the back of it, etc. So that was our first real launch monitor, and then we talked a little bit earlier. We did introduce last year the ARC-10. This has been a wildly successful and very popular product.
Really? I would never have thought that.
For $5.99,
That's
and it
like
gives
the
you
holy grail. Like everyone's trying to find out where Derek lives right now because you can't even find that thing anywhere. And that
yeah.
you gotta
So
like, and I'm not being like dramatic. Like it's true. Like it's been out for what 5, 8, 9 months. right? 8
We
months.
launched it last, July or August. So,
Yeah, and like it's still sold out. Like you cannot find it. Like people have given up their children for it. I've heard. It
well,
seems
it's
fast.
it's for many types of users. It's for the golf instructor who doesn't have a big budget, but they want some credibility on the range. So it gives them some good metrics for, you know, it has like over 20 different swing metrics. So it gets into the spin, it gets into the launch angle, it gets into the deviation, face to path, club path, those types of things that are really granular. Um, but beyond that, so golf instructors, it's great for like high school or college players that, again, don't want to spend a lot of money on $1,000 launch mart, but they want some good numbers while they're warming up. Um, and then just for the at-home users. So like I said, we've seen this at-home movement for golf lounges, swing analysis. You can partner this up as a golf simulator as well. So as a Garmin Golf subscriber, you then have access to 42,000 virtual courses that are loaded into the unit. You screen share to a flat screen, hit into a net, hit into a range, something like that, if you're in an indoor learning center environment. And you can, play a golf course that you're excited to play next week or on a guy's golf trip, whatever it is, and just get an understanding of how that is. There's
Dude,
different.
this thing is like really, 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 really cool. I'm just telling you guys, like this thing is legit. It's like the price point is $599, which is like, in my opinion, that's why it's flying off the shelves because of all the features it provides and how good of it is. And it's a Garmin, right? So like, you're competing with, in my opinion, you're beating like the monitors that are under the $499 mark automatically.
Yeah.
And I don't have one. I've watched lots of YouTube videos on it, and I know
Yeah.
about it.
So when you're on the range, just using the launch monitor feature, you can set three preferences at the top that are the most important metrics to you. So it shows to you every time. I have carry, total, and ball speed. It'll show you kind of the trajectory. I know my lighting is tricky, but it'll show you the trajectory of the shot. And then these are more of the specific metrics like backspin, side spin. This is just on an iPad, but you can use your mobile phone.
You can screen record that too, right? Like if you're using it at the range, you could screen record your iPad and your Garmin separately, right? As like to see what you did. If you want to go back and watch on film or something like that.
Yeah, so you can record your swing through the app, and if you're a Garmin Golf subscriber, Garmin will store those swings in the cloud. So I think I had a couple that were recorded here. So
this is where Derek hits at 400 yards with his drive.
Nah, yeah, right. Let's see if I can. It's been a while since I've used it. Since we have this product, unfortunately, has really fallen victim to the economy and supply chain challenges out there. So we are focused on selling what we can sell. But
well, yeah, you cannot find the R10. You can pre-order it at lots of places, but there's no guarantee you're going to be getting it anytime soon.
That's it. So, but you can record your swing. It'll store it in the cloud through Garmin's golf subscription app, and then
so for the golfers out there, you could literally Garmin can record your swing, right, and you'll have that.
Well,
and then you could also, if you wanted to, you could record on your iPad the whole, just using screen record essentially, whatever it was showing, and you can actually go back and look at the whole thing, right, and see like, oh wow.
You wouldn't necessarily have to record your screen on the iPad. Like, it'll store each swing for you and the metrics, so that you can go back at any time.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it'll record each one. Like I'm pulling up stuff from January 2021 when I was using it. But it comes with a phone mount, so you can mount the phone onto your bag for recording purposes, or just getting the basic metrics of what it is you're looking to do. So it's been good. And then beyond the launch monitor is our Z82 rangefinder. So this is our $599 unit, but it's very advanced. 6x magnification.
Super advanced. This is like
it's kind of a
rangefinder out there.
Yeah, it's a AMOLED display. So when you look through it, it kind of has a very videographic type look to it, but it's awesome when like we talked about on the S62, it has the golf hole on the side. So it has the different numbers of bunkers and hazards. And if you're not familiar with the course, it's a great asset and tool while you're out there to make you comfortable and hit some shots that you may normally.
Yeah, so what happens, you guys, is like you can look through the rangefinder, like a normal rangefinder, but then that map display we're talking about with the watch, that shows up in the eyepiece. Like,
That's right.
so you can see, like, it's crazy. It's like a screen within a screen, so you can go like, I don't know, it's sick.
Yeah, I may have misspoke. It's an OLED display, but it's a really cool graphic that outlines, like you said, the whole golf ball. You can click through it. You can, and then we introduced a feature called Green Contours. So if you are a Garmin Golf subscriber, what that means is it has a graphic of the green and the fall off areas and the heat spots of slope. So you get DeChambeau on everybody out there, but it'll give you an idea of like where not to miss it or where the steepest part of the green is. If you're looking for more of a uphill putt or just kind of where not to get short sighted. So
no, it's cool. What's the difference between that and the Z80, the one before it?
So Z80 was one of our early adopters. I never really had much experience to it because it was before I started, but I think it was, it was a 2D overlay. The OLED display was new for the Z82. And I think the magnification improved a little bit more on it. So,
I mean, honestly, you guys, like, Garmin makes some really cool stuff. Like, this is like nice stuff, not knockoff, like Chinese-made garbage. Like, this is cool, like on the cusp of technology. Like, I don't know. In my opinion, I think Garmin's like the Cadillac, right? The Cadillac version. Like, it's good stuff.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and we've seen continued growth in that category for us. And like I said, it's good on the course. It's good off the course. It has a good look to it. The battery life is excellent, and it's accurate. I mean, technology fails like anything. We don't bat 1,000, but we're pretty on it if there is an issue, and Garmin will make it right. And yeah, just appreciate you allowing me to go through that with you, and appreciate your enthusiasm on it.
So I didn't know this. So the G80, right, the handheld, was like your first launch monitor, quote unquote. And then it was, in your opinion, was the R10 replacing the G80, or it's a completely different product?
Totally different product. Again, you're not golfing with the R10. It's strictly
you're at the range or you're at home.
Yeah, I mean, this has versatility on the golf course too, but the R10 is really great for, just like I said, more in-depth data analysis, video recording, virtual golf, being able to compete, in a virtual tournament with your friend that might live across the country. You can set that up through the Garmin Golf app. You're not really bringing it onto the golf course for any type of information.
We didn't talk about this one, but it's because it's a lower price point. So like when it comes to the small handheld GPSs, like you have the G12, right? Which is like the S12 in a way, but it's not a wearable. What is the G10? Was that was a precursor to the G12?
That's right. G12 just updated to the G10. A little bit bigger head.
Bigger head. It's not square. I mean,
right. Yep. A little bit better battery life. Whenever a new product comes out, always immediately assume a little bit better battery life. What's the big difference? A little bit better battery life. Squeeze out more.
What is there any? I mean, you might not know, or you might know, but I mean, is there new Garmin stuff coming out this year that in golf possibly?
Our golf line is pretty set for this year. We're always evaluating potentially new technologies, but where we sit here today, what I showed you will get you through the 2022 season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because the R10, even though it launched last summer, fall, it's still like, I don't feel like it has its legs underneath it yet, because it doesn't.
Yeah.
It hasn't sold enough units because of there's not enough units to be sold. I mean, honestly, that's.
If we could make it, we would. Believe us.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's all kinds. I mean, I talked to a lot of brands, and the tech issues overseas is not good, right? Like, and it's slow.
Everybody's facing it. I mean, everybody in a variety of industries. Unfortunately, we're not immune to a lot of these aspects, but it's still great to have a lot of excitement and buzz around it, and people are becoming understanding.
It's kind of cool, right? Because it's 8-9 month old product that people are still excited about. right? And
Yeah.
that's you don't see that. It's not like it's already like, oh yeah, it came out last year, but whatever. It's
And I
people
mean, we
still
worked
want
the
it.
PGA show, and it was by far the most talked about product in our booth, and it's helped us get into a lot of like green grass facilities that we weren't previously in. It was a nice gateway to have them introduce wearables and handhelds and a rangefinder to really, like you said, introduce the breadth of what our technology offers on the golf course, and in addition to some of the wearables off the course as well. So
I can't wait to get one, honestly. Like,
we'll work on it.
I mean, I'm not trying. I'm just saying. Like, I think one day, whenever I do get one, I'm gonna be excited to get it. Like, I think it's really a
Yeah.
cool product. I think all your products are cool, honestly. I mean, I can't think of one. I can like, all things a piece of crap. Like, no, they're all cool. Like, they're all cool, in my opinion. So
Well, thanks,
I'm
man.
really happy to have you on the show. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you taking time out of your busy day and sharing with us like more about you and the Garmin, what's going on with Garmin, and all the different product lines. I really enjoy the show and tell section, like because I've never had that before. But it's kind
Cool.
of cool because you guys have a lot of products. It's not like, oh, we make one thing or four things. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like they're all different and they all have different reasons. And I don't know. When I just think of Garmin, I just think like high quality, and I'm really happy to have you on the show.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that feedback, Paul, and the kind words. And just thanks to everyone who watched, and hope you get out there this season with some Garmin golf.
Oh, I do. I have a couple boxes of some stuff over here behind me, so
Good.
I'm gonna start playing with. I got some watches that just came in, something else I can't remember, but
Awesome.
I'm excited to start testing these and playing with them. So, thank you for being on the
Yeah.
show. And if you guys, I mean, want to buy anything Garmin, just Garmin.com. I mean,
Or we have a dealer locator as well on there to get a better understanding of who's selling Garmin closest to you, and you might be able to pick it up same day. So,
or just look up Derek's name on Garmin.
yeah, don't look me up. Just kidding. We'll try to help you out if you're in Western PA. Yep.
If you're not, maybe you have a cousin that lives there or something. So then you
Yeah.
have a reason to. Just kidding.
We're all in the
Thanks for being
same
on the show,
community.
and I will host you guys in the next episode.
Okay, Paul. Thanks again. Have a good week.